Okay, just getting things ready. Okay, I think I'm here. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, hello. Right, hold on. Let's get back to where I was. Right, have I got everything? Have I got my... Oh, I've got a trailer attached. That's working. It's a miracle. Where's my dials? I haven't even turned them on yet. Jesus, talk about turning everything on. Got no room to fit my hand in. And it's night time again for me. Gotta love it. Where is my Euro track? We'll get back to this one. Hey, I should turn these on and then it'll auto switch then. Right. So for anybody who's watching, this is free to join. So just let us know and we'll add you in. Otherwise, let's have a quick look at jobs. Job market. Oh God, I do this every time I start the game and I know I've got to swap places. Oh, it sucks. Do you get that problem?
Yep, I actually got it straight now, just before you came.
Yeah. It's just every time I load I've got to do it. It's getting really annoying now.
Yeah, I hope they fix it soon, or...
Let's just hop. Travel there and we'll travel back.
Yep.
That's one. Oh, that's the wrong button. And then do trailer. At least that should put me back with the trailer. Lovely. Let's try jobs again, shall we?
Yep.
Well, what have we got here? I think we'll try and keep things local. So we're not going to go, obviously. We got one to Cambridge. What else have we got? Further afield, ideally. We'll try and keep it to the UK for now. Felixstowe. Oh God, my battery's running out as well. Jesus, it's all happening today.
I got something to Cambridge.
Yeah, so I'm sure we got something further afield. We got Swansea.
No. But let's see. If I Swansea.
Yeah, I've got Vinegar to Swansea.
No, I don't got anything there.
You've got a Cardiff? That's nearby.
No.
What have you got? Cambridge, is there?
Yeah, it was with my own trailer, but yeah.
So,
Kyle,
yeah, I've got Felixstowe, Newcastle, don't have Carlisle. Cambridge, though. Do you want to do that and then we'll see if there's another job? We'll try and do some quick jobs today.
Yep.
Get a few under the belt, so to speak. So we'll take a Cambridge one, yeah?
Okay, yep.
Okay, let's grab that. Pick up a job. the other side.
Okay.
Ah, I can see someone else joining in. Uh-oh, don't crash. Oh, Jesus, my
You
headlights.
got kicked. Oh yeah.
I'm falling asleep. I thought they were on. I was too busy looking at the chat. I'll have to join back in when I thought I switched them on. Obviously, when I did the other things, I forgot. God, there's always something in there.
Got the warning then.
Don't know. I know what I need to do. I need to reprogram my lights to this, the button box, because I keep forgetting when I'm in multiplayer, it's on a different button. So that doesn't help me. I'll reload it now. Jonathan, you found us server 3. Gotta load back in because I forgot my lights because I'm a noob. And hello there, Xavier. How you doing? Let's see if I'm assuming it was just kicked and not banned for being stupid. That'd be a good stat, wouldn't it? I swear they changed that logo. Can't see the button. Where was the destination? Carlisle.
Grimsby? No.
I can't. No, not Carlisle.
Cambridge.
Cambridge. That was it.
Yeah.
We mentioned Carlisle. So Cambridge. Sorry, because I haven't picked mine up. It hasn't updated my my destination.
Have you picked up the load?
Nah, just about pulling now. I only just logged in, so
Yeah.
pick it up. Take a job. Whoa! Don't change view. Can't see where I am then. Oh god, I got all that wrong now. I don't know how that changed view then, because I don't know what button I tapped. However, that'll do. Hello there, Will. How you doing? ETS? What, you mean the settings in SimuCube itself or in the game? I'm very good, Will. What I'll do, give me a second, let me put my settings on for this Xavier so you can see my settings. Here's the fun part now. How do I swap my screen without it all going tits up? let's do this a second because I don't want that working. Yep. Give it a second. So that should give you the SimCube settings, so pause the video and make a note of that. Yeah, because it's not set up. It looks absolutely terrible, that camera, so I'm thinking of changing it. Because the Lite I've got works fine for everything else, but for me, it washes me out. So rather than show people a really crappy camera, I'll be changing it, but for some reason I forgot to delete it off the settings. And in the game settings, I'll do that quickly now while I'm here. Oh, I could just do that actually. It works better. Need to go to controls, and I'll zoom in on the game again. So those are my force feedback settings, and of course then you just program in your wheel. A little bit of dead zone on the clutch range, do for your pedals obviously. But other than that, that's the main settings I've got. But again, you may like it a little bit, you know, firmer. You may want it a little bit weaker on the wheel. Well, that's what I use. Anyway, back to the game. Right, I think we're all in the right gear now. Keep forgetting we're in the UK, so we've got to be on the other side of the road. Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting. It should change back. There we go. A bit of a delay when changing views, unfortunately. So how's your day been? And what about you, Roy? You were off work, weren't you? Were you back in work now?
Yeah. I had a day off, so I polished some wax in the car.
Another day off? Oh my god.
Yeah. I used 8 hours on the car today, so... Anyway, it's actually 1 day of working.
Yeah, you're the same as me. When you go to the car, you don't do like a outwash the car and back in. It's you spend most of the day out there.
Yeah. We finally got some warmer weather, so I could do that.
Yeah, I wonder how long that's gonna last for you.
Yeah, I'm excited because I use a new wax now, the Lite 470. If you haven't heard about that.
Oh, there's so many different waxes out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No problem, Xavier. I don't go that far. I don't bother using waxes. I just use a good... Well, I do use a wax, but it's more of a liquid wax rather than the paste wax. I don't know whether yours is a paste wax.
Hard wax.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought you wanted to use a hard wax in the cold weather, though, but what do I know?
Yeah, it was 4 degrees Celsius, so...
That's still bloody cold.
Yeah, it is, but as long as you keep working on, it's actually good temperature to work in.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Drop it in some drop in a pot of hot water. We'll loosen it up a bit.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Now,
Fuel.
actually, to be honest, it was perfectly fine to work it.
Hold on, I'm gonna swing it around just to get some fuel.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I just suddenly looked at my gauge and was like, hold on a minute, let's top it up now while I can. Because probably got plenty of fuel to get there, but...
Yeah. It's good to have more than you need. Also.
No, my luck, I'll end up going the wrong way and be like, oh, well, that was a bad idea. No, I usually drive a Scania, but I thought I'm going to have a bit of a change. And Volvo used to be one of the first trucks I used to drive. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to a Volvo. I haven't driven a Volvo in-game for a long time. So I kitted one out. Give it, you know, the old paint job as well. So we're kind of all matching. Volvo's still a good truck in the game. I don't mind driving it at all. It doesn't quite have the low down grunts I would say of a Scania, but when it gets going, it drives just as good. Oh, I don't plan on changing my content anytime soon. It's always going to be race driving or some form of driving anyway. And I try and vary it. I don't want to stick to just one particular game, so you know it'll be rally one day, it'll be race cars another, it'll be trucking another day. I want to try and get into Formula 1 more. Would you believe I've had Formula 1 2018 not long after launch? Hardly played the game, but it's one of those games where you really got to invest a bit of time to get in, especially when if you decide to do a season. I've done the odd video now and again where I've done like the I don't know what you call them. Oop, I'm turning you. It's more like so busy yapping. It's more like you doing the older cars, but just doing these circuits. Quite enjoyed doing those, but I wouldn't mind getting into more. Maybe doing short races. Oh yeah, crap, wrong side of the road.
I was gonna say it. But
I've gone back to driving abroad again. Even I live in the UK, right? And I still can't drive on the right side. But whenever I play this game, I'm so used to driving abroad all the time. I just forget.
So when you drive in England, you are actually driving on the right side.
Yeah.
I hope not.
No, I do. I drive the right side. It's fine. But it's. I guess that's why when I went abroad I found it so easy to drive abroad, because it was just easy just to drive on the other side.
Back in the day, so Sweden also, they drove on the left side.
They did they?
Yeah.
And they swapped
it was 1990 they quit doing that.
It's really strange to then convert over to a different side that late in the game when you think about it.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know. I'm just glad for it, but when I'm passing the border, so I just drive on the right side again.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we've got Roy in the game. Well, he's got a truck, but he's in Discord. So if anybody who joins in, if they've got or want to join Discord and jump in on chat, they can do. Saves I'm having to type, you see. I believe Jason may be hanging around in Cambridge. Or Jonathan, I should say. Getting the names all muddled up. So I've been playing with my wheel positioning, which means I now got to change my seat position yet again. And I haven't got around to doing that. Yeah, I'm sitting a little bit too close to the pedals and wheel now. So I need to loosen the seat and slide the whole thing back. At the moment it's at the furthest way back, because I repositioned the seat forward thinking, right, if my son wants to play, I can move the seat forward now and just put it right back for me, because there's no one else taller than me in my family, so I've set it up just for me. But now with me playing with all the positioning, it means I've got to move everything further back again, so more tweaking. So what have we got? Oh, so only 1 hour 30 away. Won't be too long now.
No.
Let's get the old list on.
What are you hauling?
Oh, what am I hauling? Not a clue. Let's have a look. Does it say? Roofing felt. 20 tons. Or just under, actually, because it's 19.2.
I got fertilizer with 18 tons.
Oh, that's the smell. Lovely. It's a stinker.
Yeah.
Speed cameras. Blooming everywhere. See? They've got this map right for the UK. There's roadworks everywhere. No one's doing a thing. Great. It's like there's a section of road that I travel on every day, and for the last probably 2-3 weeks they've been changing one set of traffic lights, and it's like, really? It takes you this long to change a set of traffic lights to brand new ones? It's like, what are you guys doing?
Huh.
I mean, granted, it's a small cluster. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's at least 7 or 8 lights they got to change. It can't take them that long, though. It's like, well, why does it take so long? So, of course, they do it in rush hour traffic as well, which is right, great. Thanks, guys. So you've decided just to change the lights during rush hour traffic, and you've changed the sequence to make it longer, so everybody's got to wait longer. That's really good thinking.
That's why it's taking so long time.
It's a trip that takes me, what? On a quiet day, it'll take me 15 minutes from A to B. But when there's rush hour traffic, it's over an hour. It's like, oh, stupid. You know, at the end of the day, it's not night and, you know, it's not, we're not talking like 5 hours or anything silly like that, but for a 15-minute trip, it's still bad.
Yeah. I live in a small place where we sometimes we got traffic jams or rush hour, but it's just around 7 o'clock in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. So. And that's it. actually.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same here really where I am. You know, lucky enough, it's a fairly decent road at the best of times. It's just that peak times. You know, morning and probably more around 4 o'clock our time, between 4 and 5 p.m. It's just one of those where it's really there's 2 ways in, to be honest, but the other way is, well, you don't really want to go that way if you can help it.
Oh.
33 minutes away, 21 miles, and it's 5:27 a.m. in the game. Ooh, it's getting brighter. And I remembered to get me coffee. Oh yeah. So what I fancy doing today is get some small jobs in the UK, get some more areas in the UK mapped out and bought, and then maybe, depending on how much time that takes, do a nip across abroad somewhere. Ooh, that felt a bit twitchy under braking. hopefully, well, that's Cambridge. Beep beep.
You are speeding.
Of course, that's what I do. I'm going wide because that was a bit too fast. Yeah, when you start some YouTube streams, it can be stuck at a lower resolution, and you have to physically click on the higher resolution. It can be rather annoying at times. I get that quite often, to be honest.
Yeah, but for you, Chrome, you got the extension which YouTube something, I don't remember. But there you can set it to HD or 4K or whatever you want.
Alright, so it kind of forces it.
What?
So it kind of forces it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Didn't know, and I do use Chrome, but I must admit I don't play around with Chrome extensions too much.
Okay.
That's not really going in the direction I wanted it to. I want to get it semi-tidy. Where are we? Let's unload that one, shall we? Have a look at the job market. Gotta go. Okay. Hold on. Press on the right location first. Cambridge. Aberdeen. Ooh, check if you got one to Aberdeen. That might be a good one.
Aberdeen. Let's see.
It goes right up to the north of England then. Into Scotland.
Nothing.
Got to run to Newcastle. Or we've got one to Plymouth, which might be good.
I got something to Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Yeah.
We've got Glasgow, Edinburgh. I've got Newcastle. I don't think. Oh no, I've got Edinburgh. Oh no. Click off the map. Hold on. I'll check now. Felixstowe, Dover, Plymouth. It's quite a little trek because it's Edinburgh to Aberdeen. And again, I clicked on the damn map. Newcastle. We could take Edinburgh and I can go on to Aberdeen.
Yep.
We can always see. I don't know if Jonathan's coming back. He did pop in, but I don't see him about. I'm going to grab Cambridge to Aberdeen. What am I going to choose? Because there's two. I think I might take the 9-ton one because that will be nice and easy. You know, cheap out, although the money's 23 tons would be good. Yeah, basically. Hey DJ, how you doing? No, not as far as I'm aware. It's just using my own containers, my own trucks, or my own trailer, I should say. So I believe when you have your own trailer, it does look different. So if you're doing your jobs using someone else's trailer, then you see the trailer load rather than these are what would be loaded into your trailer. So they do it per the pallet rather than per the trailer. So I'll do, yeah, let's go for the many, shall we? Make a change on it. I'll probably topple it over it somewhere along the line. So I do 23 tons. Pick up a job. Oh, right. What we want to do as well, I want to nip round and get the garage. Oh, I see someone's name. I see Off Key. Oh, it's Yepta. Take a job. You double checked it for. I thought it was, to be honest, but I didn't want to say because I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, I find it way more comfortable doing it that way. So when you're shifting up, it's because it's the downshift in rally that you have to be important of, because you need to get it into the right gear. So you usually upshift to the gear and be in gear before the corner, or you want to be quick downshifting to the correct gear. So I find it much quicker and easier to be just smashing the gear stick forward, which any way I like, you know, and the job done. Right, loading up. And I'm going to go over and get the garage. So if anybody else is around and they want to join in, now's the time to do so whilst we're just getting things sorted. Heading to Scotland, so we either get a job to Edinburgh or Aberdeen. Roy's just stuck on the roundabout.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just waiting for you guys.
It's funny, I see Off Key's on, but I don't know whether he's going to be joining us. He hasn't said hello. I don't want to just assume. Ryan, should we make a move?
Yeah, if you're ready.
We'll make a slow trip. Just cruise. That'll be the wrong gear. Stick to about, I don't know, 50 for now, tops.
Yeah. So off key is gonna go with us.
I have no idea. But if we stick to that, we'll find out because it'll tag along in this direction otherwise.
Yep.
Wouldn't take them too long to catch up at 50. They'll be able to do 5 mph faster anyway. So we'll stick to 30 for now because it's speed limit. Gotta admit, that's one of the things I do find annoying. It's like so much slower. It's in most of the UK areas than the rest of the Europe. And then again, when you go over to America, it's like, holy crap, you travel so much faster over there.
The new patch for your truck is out now, but just open beta.
Yeah, I've tried it.
Do you like it or?
It's promising.
Yeah.
But because it's not fully implemented in the patch in the beta, then, you know, things like the VSync isn't working fully. So for me it was like, okay, we'll leave that for now. So in theory, when it is released, it should be a benefit for most people.
Yeah, I'm excited how the DirectX 11 was it's gonna work.
Yeah, it needed doing. I mean, I've been saying for ages that they needed to change the engine, you know. But obviously, it was either progressing with DirectX and just moving to a newer version, or changing to a brand new engine. Changing to a new engine altogether would be the biggest headache. Yeah. I'm sure DirectX 11 in the long run would be the better option, and it allowed them to do more with the game as well. So things like the shading techniques would be better. So I'm sure they'll end up coding further down the line. It'll get more refined and better again. Just depends on what they've got planned. If it's just to keep the game where it is and just add DirectX 11 so it improves performance, then fair enough. But if they're planning on taking on board what DirectX 11 would offer over DirectX 9 and implement new features, then the frame benefit may not be as great as what people might think. But it was good for the bit I tried. I tried it in American Truck Simulator.
I'm just waiting for it to get released so I can play it online also. Instead of I got a own beta account, but it's just a pain in the ass to download the beta patch. Yeah.
Well, you can't really play the multiplayer yet because that would probably have to be updated. So for me, it was just like I just wanted to try it, see what it was like, and it was easier to mess around with my ATS than it is to mess around with ETS.
Yep.
So I thought I'll try it there because it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
And it played alright. Just the VSync was terrible because I was getting lots of screen tearing.
Oh.
But that's just because part of the coding was broken. I'm sure they'll fix that before it's released.
Yep.
I didn't know what the frame difference was though, because I couldn't get the when DirectX 11 was working for me, the frame counter wasn't working, so I couldn't tell the difference. And of course, it would be nice to know if I was gaining an extra 10 frames on triple screens over what I was running before, but no idea, to be honest. No problem, Will. Take care. Have fun. Now you do know, driving on the left-hand side in the UK, you're supposed to be on the left-hand lane.
Yeah, it was too late.
Yeah, but the usual, even though it's not supposed to be called it's the second lane is mainly used for overtaking.
Yeah, same here. Just on the other side, yeah.
Although they frown on it being called an overtaking lane because it's not really supposed to be classified as that. But I mean, you can use both lanes, but if there's nobody else on the road, rule of thumb is just stick to the left.
Same here in Norway also.
It is.
Yeah. Actually, police places they are very strict. If you, yeah, to be honest, you are not allowed to pass on the left
underside. Yeah, same here. You're not supposed to, but people do.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. If you've got some plum sitting on the outside lane doing really slow speeds, it's like, why am I sitting here? Why isn't he moving over?
Pain in the ass. Yeah.
That's just the way some people are, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we all know you're not supposed to do it, but we all end up doing it at some point.
Yeah. They open a new tunnel here in my district, and the young guys, which just got a license, they lost the license. One guy got caught 168 kilometers an hour, where the speed limit was just at 80.
They were just trying to burn through the tunnel so they could hear the engine, was it?
Yeah, just I don't just to brag, like friends or something.
Ah, it's rather silly, really, isn't it?
Yep.
That we're all young at some point. We all do silly things.
Yeah, true.
I'm sure I did plenty of silly things when I was younger.
Yeah, I did something stupid things.
I mean, I'm sure I do silly things now, but yeah, no, there's a limit now, shall we say?
Yep.
Kind of mellowing out a bit. That's probably why I like the trucking so much.
Yeah.
Mellow out driving a truck in a game.
Which wheel did you got? I know you mentioned it before. I don't remember that.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
the steering wheel for the game?
Yeah.
This is Simcube OSW direct drive.
Okay. Simcube.
Yeah, so there's only two manufacturers or two people who make. Well, actually, there's probably three when you think about it, but no, tell a lie, it's probably four.
Okay.
You got Fanatec who've just brought out their direct drive wheel, and then you got Simcube, which uses multiple different motors. They've now produced what's called Simcube 2, which is the latest version, which is to try and make everything easier to connect and simplify connections for people and produce what is supposed to be a better wheel. I personally don't think it's going to be a huge difference over what I've got now. But either way, if you want to get into direct drive, you're looking at £1,000 plus.
Holy shit. Okay.
So they're expensive, but you don't buy it because the wheel's going to make you a better driver. You buy it because you want to have better feeling from the wheel.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I would say, you know, don't buy a wheel thinking if I spend more money, I'm going to be a better driver. The wheel just communicates the information. So the more you spend, the more information you'll get back from the road surfaces or how the car handles. And you'll be able to read that information more naturally.
Yep. Yeah, because I was watching the online stores and they only got the Logitech and the old for Farming Simulator, and the Thrustmaster.
You probably have to import.
Yeah.
I mean, this was bought. There was a guy in the UK who sells them, but even he had to import the parts from Japan for me.
Oh, from Japan.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think it was Japan anyway.
Who else is making things like that?
Well, it's kind of changed now, whereas I think the way this is done now, it's done more of a, this is everything you need, done in one, and they buy it in and sell it on. Whereas before, it was called OSW because it was an open wheel system, you know? So you could basically grab parts from here, there, and everywhere, put them together, and make your own direct drive system. So that's why for Simcube 1, which is what I've got, there are variations of that. They're all pretty similar in how they perform, but there's different companies that were given their own look on it. So one would have one power supply, another would have another. There were like 3 or 4 different motors you could choose from. There were 3 or 4 different controller card configurations you could choose from. So, you know, it let you make your own, and you could literally, if you wanted to, you could buy the parts off the shelf and literally build your own direct drive if you wanted to.
Nice.
Fanatec have come along now and produced their own system. In a way, it's probably the better system from the eco point of view. So, you know, if you want to get into, I want to have multiple different wheels, different designs, and I want to have plug and play compatibility, then Fanatec may be the better option.
Yeah.
You can kind of do that with these type of wheels, but it's a little bit more work on your side. You know, this wheel is not wireless, it has to have a cable, but to me, the cable doesn't bother me. I mean, if you look at the old style rally cars, they were fitted with wheels that had cables attached and God knows what. So to me, that's just part of how it is, and it doesn't get in the way, it doesn't detract from it. You know, I've had the Logitech wheel, which was all in one. There's no cable between the wheel and the base. So the fact that this has a cable in between, it's never really gotten in the way and spoilt my enjoyment. However, you know, the other people on the other side will be saying, oh, it's got a cable there, it's going to get in the way, or my wheel doesn't have the cable. It doesn't really matter, to be honest.
No,
you know?
It's you don't have to think about batteries and so on.
Yeah.
And you lose the contact.
Exactly, I don't have to worry about the contact breaking. You know, if yes, okay, the cable may break, but it's just a basic Ethernet cable. It's just a basic USB cable. You know, they're relatively cheap. You can buy one off the internet, you can solder it in place, or if you're lucky to buy a wheel where it's got a connector there, you can just buy a new USB cable and plug it in and off you go.
Yeah.
So there's swings and roundabouts. There's always going to be pluses and minuses for both. It's really down to what you want from a wheel. Most people would probably choose Fanatec now because they've got the complete system in one website. So you buy one base, you can buy a number of wheels. If you upgraded from a basic base to a more expensive base like the direct drive, you can take the wheels you've bought with you. Now you can convert some of those wheels to like this system, but not all. The very new wheels now, they've locked down, so you can't plug them into any other wheelbase. They'll only work on Fanatec ones. So it's kind of frustrating in that respect, but it looks like Off-Key's managed to catch us up.
Yeah.
He's keeping quiet, he's probably too busy trying to drive.
Yeah.
Or if he did type in chat, I didn't see him.
No, I didn't see him either. Before I just saw 2 blue dots behind me. Yeah, but this Sumi cube or whatever it's called again, isn't that difficult to put it together or something?
Nope.
No. So it's
easy.
plug and play.
Yeah, yeah, it's not really. It is. You plug it in, there's a little bit of configuration you need to do, but once you understand what you need to do, there's like on the software side, it's like on the Fanatec, they're planning on releasing software where you can configure the wheels per game. And that's the same kind of thing you're doing here, and to me it's like, well, they're making all this fuss over, but will you be able to do this and that with the Fanatec? But it's like, well, that's exactly the same as what the SimiCube software does. I can program it per game or per car. I think it gives me up to 250 slots I can do, maybe more, I don't know.
Shit.
I'm never going to use that many.
No.
But, you know, once you know your kind of base configuration, what feels right for you, that's what I tend to go in with. I go in with my base configuration first. I drive the car in the game, or a couple of cars in the game, and from there then I can start to tweak what I think suits that particular game. Hello, Off-Key. Glad you managed to type in chat. I know it's awkward for you. I wasn't sure whether you're going to tag along or whether you were going to go off on your own, so I thought, well, just cruise. But yeah, it's the choice for direct drive now is it's good in a way because you do have a choice. When I bought this, Fanatec were talking about releasing their wheel, and I was really ready to jump onto the direct drive, and I wasn't prepared to wait. I wasn't really worried about having a Fanatec wheel or anything like that. I just wanted a system that delivered me a good feeling from the games that I had, and it does. You know, it's really precise. You know, this has got the Biss-c encoder, which is supposed to read the wheel rotation at 4 million times per rotation or something. I don't know which way it's called, but a hell of a lot. Whereas when you think something like a Logitech does it, I think a couple of thousand. This, you know, it's like 4 million. It's like, okay, that's quite precise.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's an industrial grade motor, so I don't expect it to go faulty anytime soon.
No. As long as it works as you want,
well,
breakdown. Yeah.
The best thing is I've had it since day one. I've had no issues with it. I've plugged it in. Yes, okay, there's a little bit of working configuration, but I've had no issues with it whatsoever. And I'll get the odd issue where the wheel may disconnect now and again, but that's a USB issue on the PC side rather than on the wheel side.
I remember.
And that could happen with any wheel you plug in.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got as many USB devices as I've got plugged in, and I've got over 20 plugged in at the moment, something's going to trip up somewhere. You know, I'm using 4 USB 4 hubs. Well, not USB 4. I'm using 4 USB 3 4-port hubs is what I'm supposed to be saying.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of hubs. And then I've got, you know, all those are folded up. And I've got a few plugged into the PC directly. I'd have to recount. On the last count, it was over 20. Yeah, I got a hell of a lot plugged in. When you think about it, I got a camera plugged in. I've got flight sticks plugged in. That's 2 alone. I've got the wheel, which is 1. Sorry, I got the base, which is 1. I got the wheel, which is another 1. I got the shifter, which is 1. I got the truck shifter, which is another 1. Sequential shifter, which is another 1. The handbrake, which is another 1. The button box is another 1. I've got an audio mixer, which is another 1. And I can't remember, I got the HTC Vive plugged in as a USB as well. There's the GIMX adapter. And there's probably more plugged into the PC that I can't even recall right now. That's just off the top of my head. There's the cameras, obviously, so that's that one, and the Logitech camera, which I have plugged in now and again. So, you know, I could narrow it down. I know there's the Logitech mouse plugged in. There may be a Bluetooth adapter, although that may be removed now. I don't know. Can't remember. It's got so many, I can't even remember what's plugged in. It's not so much a gadget snob, though. It's the fact that that's what I need to be able to get this thing working. You know, I've got the Stream Deck plugged in. There's the keyboard plugged in. There's another 2. I'm just looking around now thinking, what else have I got? Oh, the pedals. There's another one. Forgot about them, and they're important. So, yeah. Because it's different. For something like a Logitech wheel where you have one USB cable coming out, but you've got your gear stick, your wheel, your pedals plugged into the base. That gives you the one connection back then to the PC. But because this is, you know, the wheel isn't bought with the pedals, and the shifter isn't bought with the wheel or the pedals, they've all got individual connections. So when you start going into separate manufacturers for everything, so unless you're sticking with a gaming ecosystem, so something like a Logitech system, or you've got a Fanatec system where they can all plug into one particular base, that's going to save you at least 2-3 cables. But in this day and age, when you think of most PCs have a minimum of at least 4 USB 3 ports on the back, then they'll have a couple of USB 2 ports, and that's minimum. And then you've got extra ports internally, so you can plug in internal boards to give you expansion. But even then, you know, my 4 USB 3 ports on the back, they're all full with the hubs. Because I need the bandwidth to get everything connected and working without them messing up. I still get issues now. When these flight sticks are plugged in, that's when my camera or my wheel messes up. Currently they're still plugged in, so I might have to take them back out again whilst I'm not using them. So yeah, that was the fun, exciting times. Why, are you thinking of changing wheel? You thinking of changing your wheel, or?
Yeah, a friend of mine, he bought the farming sim wheel I was talking about, but I read online that it's not good to Euro Truck simulators.
No, I wouldn't buy the farming sim wheel. I would purely buy for farming sim, unless you want to buy the farming sim wheel for the button box that comes with it.
Yeah,
But
he said, or many people, they wrote that the dead zone is too big for Euro Truck.
no, if you want to get a new wheel for trucking or driving in general, then you've got to stick with either Logitech, Thrustmaster, or Fanatec. What have you got now?
Xbox controller.
I just use an Xbox controller, yeah?
Yeah.
Then it really boils down to your budget. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
if you
I can afford it, but it's just the thing that I don't want to buy the.
well, look at Fanatec then. If you don't want to, I know you said you can afford direct drive. So if you know, what you need to sit down and think and be realistic is, if all you're going to be doing is trucking, do you really need a direct drive wheel for trucking? Personally, no. But if you want a good quality wheel so you can enjoy what you're doing, and you just don't want it, and you're thinking, you know what, I'll just go down to the next level, I would say you're better off looking at Fanatec.
Yep.
Maybe look at their 2.5 wheelbase, which is probably their best wheelbase under the direct drive. Or they got that new one, they do the new CSL Elite, I think it is, with pedals and everything. I think it's supposed to be like a really good starter system. So I would probably recommend looking at that. A lot of people seem to be reviewing that at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look later. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do if I was looking to get a wheel system below direct drive, but better than your basic T300 Thrustmaster wheel. I did go for a TSPC Racer before I got this, but I had problems. And that's when I decided to change. When I sent the wheel back, I was thinking, oh, you know what, I'll go for the Fanatec 2.5. But when I bought this, the pricing wasn't a huge difference between the 2.5 and a direct drive. However, if you're thinking, I want to wheel pedals, you know, and to get myself going because I want to upgrade my pedals with it, I would probably say look at the CSL Elite, because at the lower cost than going for direct drive, you'll end up having a decent wheel system and pedals thrown in. You can then enhance the pedals, I believe, by buying the load cell pedal, which is an extra for braking. So it comes with 2 pedals, which you use as accelerate and brake. And then when you can buy the load cell pedal, and the brake you got then moves over as your clutch, and the new one becomes your brake. And it's about another £129 on top. And for all intents and purposes, it's supposed to be really good. Now, yes, I've never tried it, but from the people who have it and who have, you know, talked about it in their videos or reviewed it, it seems to get a really good write-up for what it is. Because yeah, my Thrustmaster went downhill 6 months after purchasing it, and went to Thrustmaster and said, well, what are you going to do about it? And they were like, well, it's not doing anything wrong, it just makes a noise. And I was like, well, it didn't make a noise 6 months ago, so why can't you service it? And they said, no, not doing it. So I was like, right, okay, then I'll send it back to the shop I bought it from and I can buy something else, thanks.
Yeah.
So I just, at that point, I was like, I'm not going to go with Thrustmaster again because that was absolutely terrible support.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Controller can be fun, but if you want to have the realism, I mean, granted it is a smaller wheel and you're not sitting inside a truck, but I find it way more relaxing sitting in front of a wheel driving than I would sitting with the controller in my hand. Okay, he's pulling ahead again. Let's try catching him up. What are we on? 4 hours 58, 208 miles.
Yeah, you got a longer trip than me, of course, I forgot it.
Yeah, so we're heading to Edinburgh first, and then we'll go on to Aberdeen. Not quite sure what Ofki's got on board. I wonder if he's got time to type out the place. I don't know if he's got Aberdeen or Edinburgh. Hello there, MJ, how you doing? That was a bit wonky around that corner. I tell you what though, since YouTube have changed the way they do things now, it's gotten a lot quieter. It used to be that there was at least a tidy number of people at least watching, even if they weren't talking, but even now it's, then you can see the number difference, the way they're doing their lithograms and how they put messages out. So yeah, anybody who's watching and they're enjoying the video, hit a like, because that always helps with getting the video out there and seeing if any people would hop on in. Oh, he's got Aberdeen. So if we're lucky, you may be able to pick up a job from Edinburgh to Aberdeen, a short job. If not, just tag along. This truck's a bit wonky around these corners. And 184 miles, 404 litres on board, so we've got enough fuel for this job. Yeah, because obviously with you using a controller, if you do decide to go for a wheel, you need to then think of, right, I need to get a wheel, maybe a shifter. You can use the paddles on the wheel.
I want the shifter also, but now I'm just using the automatically.
Yeah, well that's just it. See, if you get a wheel, it'll have paddle shifters more than likely, which means you can shift up and down using the shifters anyway. Which means you can go to semi or like a sequential, shall we say, to start with. Yeah. You can use automatic if you want. Assuming you buy a wheel that comes with pedals, so at least then you've got accelerator brake. You may have accelerator brake and clutch. And then for shifter, well, if you go Fanatec, most people would say stick with the Fanatec shifter, but it's expensive. You're over 200, maybe 300 quid. But you don't have to have a Fanatec shifter. You could go for the same as what I got, which is an SHH shifter. Yeah. Or is it S? I can't remember if it's SSH or is it SHH. I can never remember which way around it is. And then if you wanted to get a truck shifter on top of that, like I've got, that's another one. Because obviously you buy the shifter from Fanatec, that's like, say, 300 quid. Then you buy a truck shifter to go on top of that, that's another 140 quid. So that's adding up, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas if you go for this shifter, this is a 8-pattern shifter, that's just around the £100 mark. And then you've got the truck shifter on top, which is another 140 quid, so, you know, it's half the price straight away.
Yeah. The thing is also is if it's, let's say, around 3,000 Norwegian crowns, I have to pay the taxes also before I get it.
Well, yeah, this is where you need to do your homework, so to speak.
Yep.
Find out what works, what doesn't work, you know, what your input costs are gonna be. Who knows?
Yeah, it's quite expensive to import things.
And Fanatec aren't exactly the best when it comes to delivery charges, because yeah, when I bought a set of Fanatec pedals. They were the V3 inverted. They were, I don't know, like £500–600 worth of pedals. It was nearly 60 quid just for delivery. It was like, holy crap.
Holy shit, yeah.
Now, they did have two choices for delivery. There was like the express delivery, which was like 60, because I thought, yeah, I will run them really quickly because the pedals I've got were falling apart. So I paid the extra. I could have done it slightly cheaper by going for the normal, but I then realised that it probably would have been better off paying the normal because it wasn't any quicker. They got delayed in the post anyway, and they didn't do anything on refunding the amount. They just said, oh, sorry. And I was like, well, thanks.
Yeah.
So you're turning here, are you?
Yeah.
And mine's telling me to go straight on, and I'm not turning. We're creating a roadblock, sorry. I wasn't looking at the signs. I think somebody just came across them, I don't know. Edinburgh. I might go and buy the garage actually while I'm here. Oop, that's not in gear. Let's go and get the garage. Yes, indeed, I would certainly like to buy the garage. Right, is you all ready?
Yeah.
Did you get a job, or are we just gonna roll on?
I'm just, let's see. We were heading Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, so the next one up on the map.
No, nothing.
Just tag along in it, so it's another it's another 148 miles, but hopefully it won't take too long. Yeah, then we'll make a move then. Oh god, it's not got in gear. Oh, there he is. Truck looks smart. Well, you know, I do try. I've actually tried to give it one theme. So if I've gone with one colour or style, I've tried to do it throughout. So it looks tidy at least. Oops. As it changes direction whilst he's going around the corner. Do you play any other driving games? Or is it just Euro Trucks?
Playing American Truck Simulator also. It's
Oh,
not
really?
that fun as Euro Truck. I think the thing is that it's so long distances to drive and so on.
Yeah, it's the same as me. It's the game is kind of looks similar, but when you're driving it, it's like, okay, you know, there's longer roads, there's straighter roads, they're not as interesting. So it does become a little bit, this is a bit laborious.
Yeah, it is actually. And I also got.
Although don't say it too loud because Offkey prefers ATS.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the map expansions you can. The Mexico map.
Well, there's a new one coming out shortly, isn't there? There's Washington coming out shortly.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm talking about Simtech now.
Right, yeah.
No, but I like it. But the trucks in the States, no, I don't like.
I find them. I like the trucks. I do find them more challenging to park because one aspect of the game I do like is the parking. But you find that because the turning circle isn't as tight as on the European trucks, it does make them more challenging to park. And because the trailer length can be longer, it can be a real challenge with some of them.
Yeah, I got huge problems in.
But I like that side of it because I like the challenge of trying to park. And some of them have been really difficult, and I've been there for ages just trying to park, going, "Got this bloody thing in," you know. It's just Whereas on Euro Truckers, you tend to be able to just swing it in quite easy. And I wish on the Euro side they increase the difficulty of parking for some of it. There's a couple of difficult ones. Don't diss the ATS. No, it's got some good bits. Oh, bridge coming up. I like the bridge.
But the thing also with the arm trail in Euro Truck, I think it has something also how many axles you got. Also.
Yeah, obviously having a steerable axle helps.
Yeah, but also the buggy lift also, which I got now.
But
it's easy to park.
Yeah.
But it says it's too heavy to lift the axle, so you can't turn it down sometimes. And that's okay, but this it just makes it more difficult to park it.
Yeah, but I do wish they would. You know, some of the parking with ETS, it's you literally just drive in, and you just turn around, back it in.
Yeah.
Or you can just drive in, park it up. It's too easy in some instances, and I've got it set to the hardest difficulty because I want to challenge myself when it comes to parking.
Yeah.
But it's no way as ATS is, I find, more difficult when it comes to parking, and I think that's something they could improve on with ETS is make some of the parking situations more challenging.
Yeah.
You know, they've got the levels there. You know, you can either let the computer just park it for you and be done with it, and maybe have 2 or 3 different levels. Have an easy one where you just drive straight in, a secondary one where you go in and reverse it into a parking spot, and maybe a third one where you've got to back it round a corner into a tight area, this, that and the other, you know? Yeah. And I've just missed the turn because I'm too busy yapping, sorry guys.
Oh shit, so you were actually supposed to go left here.
Yeah, we'll have to go down. I just looked at the map now thinking, shit. Well, welcome to the tour of Scotland.
A guided tour.
Yeah, pretty much. That's now increased the time from 1 hour to 2 hours something. Shit.
An expensive trip to
I'm wondering... that shouldn't be that long according to this. It's got to turn around by there. Oh, you can't turn here. Because they're crummy services. 108 miles. Oh, if anybody needs fuel, let me know. It should only be another 107 miles, so... if you've got less than that, you're going to need to give me a shout. Yeah, left. Oh, I was too busy yapping again, so I wasn't paying attention to the map. Here's another left. Let's go. Oops. I don't know why I'm not going that way, because that says Aberdeen that way. Right, hold on. Map. We're going to stop here a second. I want to see what my map is doing. Is it doing anything stupid? Oh no, if we go the other way, it's going to take us on the back road. It'll take us even longer. So there we are, we've checked it. It's okay, the map is fine. It's not having a fit. Oh, come on. I'm trying. Thinking about it. I was waiting for the clutch to go in. Oh, that's a bit heavy. That's 23 tons. Ugh, sluggish. I swear somebody's burning something outside. I can smell the smoke because I've got a window open because it's so warm. Doesn't help when your PC's pushing at 60 degrees all the time.
No.
I was sitting here today trying to think, right, how can I get a fan mounted to the rig? But I don't want... I don't want a massive fan. I want a small fan, but I want to be able to direct the air to certain zones, you know, legs, feet, you know, base, body.
Oh, for your...
Yeah, on the rig, you see, because it's where it is. It gets... If I'm doing Dirt Rally on this, man, do you get warm playing Dirt Rally. Hey, Equalizer, how you doing? So I've ordered a USB step-up converter for power, and I've got a... I'm trying to remember the size of the fan. It's like an 18... Is it 18? No, maybe a 12-inch fan. It's a PC fan, but then what I'm hoping I can do is mount it to the rig somewhere. And I don't know whether I'll put some ducting on it as well to help split the air into certain areas, but we'll see. Gotta wait for this part to come in first and see if it works. It's only cost me £1. No, £2. So I thought, well, for £2, it's not going to break the bank.
No. So you're looking for a fan to cool yourself down, or?
No, I don't want a wind. Yeah, no, just for me. It's, yeah, because you can get fans which will do wind effects as if you're in an open car. So obviously, the faster you go. No, I've got a fan I can put on, but the point is, the fan that I've got, which is like it's like a 12 or an 18-inch desk fan, if I put it on, yes, it'll cool me down, but it also creates an amount of noise. And that's the one thing I'm trying to do. I want to try and make it as silent as possible, because I don't want it to come through when I'm streaming. Because I used to have a desk fan on the floor next to me, and that used to blow across, and that was fine, but I used to find then my legs would get freezing cold, but my top off would be boiling hot, because it would only do... It wasn't... It's so close to me, I couldn't move it far enough away where it covers all of me. So, if I have a fan that I can mount on the rig, that's not... doesn't look stupid, and I can direct some of the air to certain zones, because all I need is like a gentle breeze. I don't need like a wind force, so I'm blowing out of the seat or something.
But can you move your rig, or?
No, that's the thing. See, where it is, it only fits in one position. If I try turning it around or anything, it affects the rest of the room. So I'm only in a small 2-bedroom house, you know, so it's got limited space, and there's no storage in this house at all. For storage, I've just got to put a cupboard in. There's no hidden storage anywhere. There's no loft space I can use. So literally what I have in the house is everything that I can use. Anything that I can't use or don't use anymore, it tends to get thrown out, because it's like I've got nowhere to store stuff. I'd have to go out and buy a storage unit or something.
I'm just thinking about when you get the fan, what about just taking the heat from your rig away then?
Well, I know I've got an air conditioning system.
Okay.
But again, because of the noise generated by it, that's all you'd hear would be that purring away in the background. Yep. So I need to find a quiet way. And for me, I was thinking, right, well, I got this fan. This is a PC fan. It's meant for a case, but it's one of the bigger fans that you can fit into a case. But I've never used it, so I thought I could make that into a fan that I can mount to the rig. And it should be a lot quieter than going for a desk fan. And it should give me enough airflow. Because that's the one thing I've noticed recently is just the temperature when playing games now, because the warmer weather's coming through. It's like, oh, that's a bit toasty warm, you know?
Yeah.
So if I can find a way then that I can get that fan mounted and maybe run some air ducting around the rig, so I can have air blowing down like you do in a car, you know? Air blowing down to your feet, air blowing onto you directly out. I think that's all I need, to be honest. It keeps you all nice and cool.
Yep.
Because I've only got, if I went for say a tower fan, I've only got 2 places where I could really put it. Yeah, I need to fit wheels, and then I'd have to make a hole in the living room to wheel it outside, because it won't fit through the doors, it's too wide. So I'd have to strip it apart. That'll be something like 4 hours work. Take it outside and then rebuild it outside, and that'll be another 4 hours putting it back together. And that's if I'm lucky. So the quickest way would be to put it on wheels, take out the living room window, wheel it through the living room window, outside, and then plug it all in. That'd be great. Will be worth it. I don't know. Just imagine how hot and bothered you're going to be just moving all that. Oh my god. I mean, I dread to think how heavy this rig is when you think the amount of metal.
Yeah, do you got many hard drives also? Or?
Well, it's a concrete floor under here, but then it's all carpeted, so I can't exactly slide it across. And I wouldn't want to anyway, with the metal would probably just break it. The tan would be. I don't know. I might have a couple of patches where the screens are. Imagine the shadows they create. Here she goes. I'd have the shape of a hero camera on my forehead, because that's roughly where the camera is. Fuel, let's check, 200. Yeah, we're fine. Are we? Yes. We're just around the corner. Yeah, that's what I was looking at today. I was like, there's some interesting ideas out there. That's why I was thinking. The one thing I haven't seen is how people do the... I want to say air conditioning for the rigs, but I don't even know if that's the right term. You know, because you see people who have installed vents on their rigs, but it's like I never see the fan that they use to power. So I don't know if they're using like just a PC fan, are they using a cylinder fan, you know, or are they just using a normal desk fan and belting the air through. So it's really annoying that no one seems to post that anywhere. I mean, if I end up doing something like that and it works and it looks tidy, I'll probably end up doing a video. I don't know where I'm going because my map's not on. Alright, there we are. I could have driven through the other way anyway. Yes. I gotta speed over that roundabout. Oop, that's not the clutch, is it? Oops, a daisy. Plus as well, you know, having a desk fan on whilst you're playing the game, that's a lot of electricity you're eating up, so if I can minimize the amount of electricity I'm using, because, you know, all adds up at the end of the day. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of doing. For now, I just want to get a fan simply mounted that's relatively quiet, so that's why I'm thinking of a good, you know, very large PC fan. So I think it's bigger than 140, so I think it's like a 12-inch. Can't remember what case it was for. I think it was an old Cooler Master case. It was massive. So the airflow should be good in it, and it should be relatively quiet. That'll do. Brown's distribution. It's still another thing. I was only literally looking at it today anyway, so we'll see. I'll get this USB adapter in first and see if that works, and then we'll have a positioning of the fan, and then we'll have a play around with ducting then and see what we can do. Yeah, I know, that's the thing, but I was thinking if I can mount the fan, say, behind the main monitors and just have two air vents, maybe one coming out to the top right and one coming down for the feet below, I think that should be good enough. Because you don't need massive air, you just need air moving over you, because where I am in this house, I've only got a door and two windows, and one set of windows I can't really reach now because the rig is in the way, and the other set of windows, they're the opposite end of the room, and if the wind is blowing in the opposite direction, there's no airflow into this room at all because it doesn't get into the room. So I need something that moves a little bit of air at least. And as much as I'd like to plonk the mobile air conditioning unit I've got right next to me, you wouldn't be able to hear a word I'm saying. That's the problem with it. It's not really meant for, you know, running in a room. It's there to cool a room down, really, and then turn it off rather than keep it running. Right, so Aberdeen, if we have a look at jobs, what's the time? 22, so we've got a bit of time. What have we got?
So where are they going now then?
I don't know, I'm going to have a look at what we got first. We could do either a run back down to Cardiff. Anybody got Cardiff? Yeah, I'm just worried about noise. That's the problem, because I don't want to generate a load of noise. So that's why I need to do my research. This is why I'm thinking of going for a larger one. I mean, I'm not worried about having the fans mimic wind, you know, so they blow faster the faster you're traveling and this, that, and the other. I just want, when it's warm, pop the fans on.
I got diesel to Swansea.
Okay. So Cardiff's right next to the Swansea, so that's not a problem. What about you, Ofki? You've got anything to Cardiff or Swansea? It's, I mean, yes, I could just about squeeze a cylinder fan in the corner, but it'll be awkward getting it there because the rig's in the way. Or I could put a cylinder fan, or a tower fan I should say, next to me, but I'd have to find one that's quiet, and most cylinder fans aren't, or tower fans aren't exactly quiet. Because you've got to remember, I'm using an Audio-Technica mic that's pretty sensitive, so it's going to pick up. We'll see. Right, I'll pick up the Cardiff job then, because Swansea's only around the corner, and let's make a move. Definitely going to need fuel.
game got dark there, I think.
No problem. Well, we're gonna be picking up the stuff. You'll be plenty of time anyway.
The thing is that just the background of the game is showing here. I don't know what's happening.
I'll log out, log back in if you need to.
Yeah, let's see.
Where's my job? Oh, it's over there. Crap.
I have to reboot my computer.
It's no problem. As I say, we're just about to pick up. I'm going to buy the garage here anyway. Take your time, we can wait. It'll be ultra wide, the drunk gamer. Could make for an interesting video, I'd say the least. Cargo has loaded. Right, head over to the garage or repair your truck. Roy's going to be rebooting. He'll be back now, so we've got to give him a bit of time, unfortunately. That'll be the wrong gear. No problem. As I say, I'm going to head over and get the garage to buy, so I'll sort that out. I think I'll repair my truck as well. Although I am toying with changing the channel name, so you never know. There may be a change shortly. I don't know yet. I may go with something with more in keeping with the content rather than just the hardware. But we'll see. I haven't really decided yet. It's just a thought. Mind you, I've got to find out whether I can change the name. I'm not entirely sure. I think you can. Never actually attempted. Where am I going? I'm going this way. Because I'm just not happy with the name. When I first created the channel, I couldn't think of anything, but the first thing I thought it was, oh, you know what? I'm using ultra wides. I'll go with that. So really, it was just to get the channel up and running with a name. Not a lot of thought was put into it. Whereas now it's like, okay, let's try and make the name a little bit more relevant. But if I do decide to change, then I've got to, redo the branding, this, that, and the other, and decide what I want, what I don't want to do. I don't know. It may just be one of my stupid ideas that I have and never comes to fruition anyway. So. And Roy, when you're back, don't forget to get into Discord.
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, you're there. Let me know when you're all set.
Yeah, I'm behind off key now. So.
Oh, there we are. So I'll start making a move.
Good.
If I can get this damn truck in gear. Because I put it in the wrong one again. Yeah, possible name change. Any ideas? The one or two. Nothing I'm going to go into right now. Because, as I say, it's only a thought. To me, you know, ultra-wide gamer, when you see that, it doesn't really tell you much of what the channel's about, other than, you know, gamer who has an ultra-wide or ultra-wides. Which is fine, but it doesn't really give you any hints as to what the channel is or what is played. And considering it's mainly driving games, I'd rather have a name that relates to the driving games more than anything else. So we'll see. Just depends on how imaginative I can become. You know, yes and no. I mean, there's plenty of people who like ultra-wides, but, you know, if I was reviewing monitors all day long and ultra-wide monitors, absolutely I'd keep the name, because it would be absolutely awesome for that. Oh my god, I've missed my gear again. But because, you know, this is more about driving than it is about these monitors, that's why I'm toying with the name change. Because I'd rather have people look at the channel and say, okay, this is about driving, that's what I want to see, let's have a look at what they're doing here, other than look at ultra-wide and think, oh, this is about monitors, and they skip it because they don't want to see anything about the monitors.
Off-key stopped, I don't know why.
You might be yapping. He's quite a far back, actually. But we didn't go past fuel, did we?
Yeah,
we did. That's the point. I need fuel as well. See, I'm talking again. I forgot about fuel again. Because we've got 496 miles to go, and I've got 181 litres. Who's going to push me? Right, map. Let me have a look at the map. Right, there's fuel coming up. I'm going to travel up to the next fuel stop and stay there until you guys catch up. Ultra-wide motorsports. That's a possibility. That's an easy change. It's not a massive change from what's there now as well, which is always good. But then again, see, I wouldn't mind. I did try flight sims at one point. I played a little bit of X-Plane. I wouldn't mind trying to get back into that. That was my plan, was to get into X-Plane, because I did buy X-Plane, and then I've only played it like 3 times.
Yeah, that's very difficult. I tried it, but it's too realistic.
Yeah, you've got to have the time to invest into X-Plane.
Yeah.
So it's either I make an effort and say, right, 1 day a week, do an X-Plane gaming session.
Wasn't that for free for a long time?
What, X-Plane? I have
think
no idea. If it was, then I didn't get it for free. Did I just drive past? Oh no, I'm going the wrong direction. Right, no, fuel is quite a way off.
I got 23 tons of diesel, so I don't need any more fuel by myself. I just hook it on the truck.
Yeah, I definitely need more. No, I'm using Discord for voice. So for those who are in the game, if they want to use voice then to make it easier so they don't have to type, then they can jump into a Discord server that I set up. And I only log into when I'm playing this multiplayer. Off-key though, he doesn't want to, because he's worried that all the girls will start chasing him. That's what it is. See, I figured it out. I knew what it was. He was like, damn, all those women are just going to come after me if I go on voice. Oh, you just got to add a voice server. So once you've added a voice server, you can then add the number of people that you want to have access. So I leave it at a low number because at the moment we don't get many people joining in. So I put enough and a few extra in there for what I think will happen. I can always add more to it. And then it's just a matter of setting up your headset to work with it and for it to work in your OBS or whatever you're using. Our fuel stop coming up now, so I'll take a break there. And once that's done, you just sign into it and off you go. Fairly straightforward. Hey, if I can work it out, I'm sure you can work it out, that's for sure.
You're stopped there, yeah.
Yeah, just stopped at the fuel. You far behind now? Shouldn't be, I think.
No, why not?
There's a truck in front of me now, so I'll let him.
He was going in the wrong side.
He was on the wrong side, was he? I think they all
Yeah,
are, aren't they?
he was. What?
Isn't he on the wrong side as well?
No.
No, he's supposed to be on the left.
On the right side.
He was on the right. He looked on the left to me. Maybe it's just the angle I'm at.
Oh.
Right, we got fuel. Because the sign for him is on the right hand side. Have we all got fuel? Are we all moving, or am I just going ahead on my own again?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not burning rubber. Oh man, I really need to move the seat. My legs are starting to cramp out. It's pretty bad. I'm sitting too close. That'll be my job for the weekend. If my car parts don't arrive the weekend, I'll be adjusting the seat. If my car parts arrive, I'll be replacing the drop links on the car.
Oh, so you're doing that by yourself?
Yeah, drop links easy.
To be honest, I don't know what part.
Oh, there's it's a metal bar that runs between your suspension strut and the anti-roll bar. So it's,
yeah, I know what's yeah.
So
That's
it's a
easy,
bolt. Yeah, it's a bolt one side, bolt the other side, whip it out, put the new one in, and if you can't get the bolt off, just get an angle grinder and angle grind the thing off, and job done.
Yeah, true. That's actually quite easy to find out if it's worn out or not.
Yeah, well, the car just went through an MOT now, and that's the only thing it came back with was the drop links were gone. Nice. And I said, okay, I'll get them done. You know, and it cost me like 40 quid for front and rear, so I'll do it myself. Job done.
Yeah, my car is also going to go MOT at the 1st of July, so I'm excited what they're going to tell me. I changed some bushings and my front dampers for 3 months ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, but they are very, very strict. We are, we are following the European or EU rules.
Yeah.
So.
Well, well, if you can do it yourself, then do it yourself, innit? That's what I'm trying to do now. I used to let the garages do it, but I'm trying to do more myself, because when I want to learn...
Yeah, I can do it, but I don't have the space to...
No, same here. I mean, I don't have a garage or anything, but I did it in the driveway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So lucky enough, if you've got off-road parking like I have, then it makes it easier. I certainly don't have a garage though, so I got to wait for a dry day. And I don't have a flat driveway because it's a gravel driveway. So what I do, I just reverse the car over to the onto the path and jack it up.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, hello, the respect. How you doing? That's what I did with the brakes. So because I tried putting a concrete slab underneath the car to jack it up on. That didn't work because the concrete slab snapped. So I was like, well, can't do that then. So that's just going to have to go over onto the path and I'll jack it up.
Yeah,
hey Lewis, how you doing? Go on, sorry.
Me and one of my friends, we changed the ballast boxes for my Xenon.
Oh yeah.
We used 2.5 hours on one side to figure out where the screws were.
All right.
And we have to take out the what's it called again, the grill.
Yeah.
And the front bumper and the plastic underneath and up on top of the tire.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, pain in the ass, but it saved at least 5,000 Norwegian euros.
Yeah, when it's when it's a big charge or something, you can do it yourself. It's worth finding the time to do it.
Yeah.
Hey Lewis, all good here. Thank you very much. Just chilling and chatting. Yes, like I've attempted to change the side lights on my car. You know just the small lights that come on when you turn your car on, but
yeah, parking.
Yeah, I've given up because I can't get my hand in.
You know, I changed for LEDs on my. I hope the MOT just doesn't say anything about it because it's so tight fit in there. So when I just got the headlight out, I should.
I mean, if your MOT is anything like ours over here, basically if it's fitted to the car and it's not working, it's a problem.
Yeah, because the thing is that you're not supposed to do anything on your car nowadays.
Oh, they don't allow you. Oh, here they, it's not a problem. You can work on your car as long as the car though is sound, and you know if you've got X bulb or X light fitted to the car, then that needs to be working. If you've got certain parts, they need to be in fully working condition. If it's failing, then they can fail you on it, basically. So, and they give you different levels. Then you get warning, which is like an advisory that this may need doing in, I don't know, say 6 months time.
Yeah.
But if it's something that has failed, it's something that they'll either choose to do. This needs to be done urgently, so you get to be able to use the car, but it's got to be done. Or if they fail it because whatever part has failed, it means technically you're not allowed to drive the car away, and then the garage has to fix it for you.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. They call it 1 to 3, and 3 where you can't drive anymore, or where 1 is things you should fix, and 2 is things you have to do, and 3 you can't drive from there.
Yeah, gladly, I've never had that last one.
I did. I'm so glad I didn't get that message.
Ow! Damn thing kicked the pedal. That hurt. Ow!
Wow.
One reason to wear shoes, but yeah, I usually drive in socks.
Yeah, there was a guy I saw on YouTube. He was driving the jogging shoes on or something.
Yeah. Oh, there's a few out there who put on proper driving shoes, and it's... I know, those are the guys who are really serious and well into their racing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, he also used gloves.
Yeah.
To get,
I bought a set of gloves. Oh, I'm so annoyed, right? I bought a set of gloves online, right? They were advertised as karting gloves.
Okay.
And they arrive, and they're blooming cycling gloves. I'm like, hold on a minute. If you were advertising as cycling gloves, I wouldn't have looked at them.
Yeah.
I thought, well, let's face it. I'm using a fake steering wheel at the end of the day. I'm not really driving a real car, so I've got them. I've tried them. They fit. They do feel okay. But I'm just not happy the fact that they lied about the description. At the end of the day, they weren't expensive though. They were like a tenner, so I thought, oh, fair enough. I'll keep them anyway.
Oh.
But because the weather's so warm, I'm like, I don't want to wear them now because my hands get too warm.
Yeah.
But that's eBay for you, see? And I was like, how can you sell a glove, right? How can you sell anything that is clearly stamped on the packaging? This is a cycling glove. It doesn't mention anywhere that it's cycling, karting, driving, anything like that. It clearly says cycling. It's got pictures of people cycling on the packaging. And yet in his description on eBay, he's got karting gloves, buy these, blah, blah, cheap. And I thought I don't want to be spending like 30-40 quid on a good quality set of gloves, because it's like, I'm not that serious in what I do, and it is only sim driving at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
many years ago, I used one of the, I don't remember what it's called again, but it's on your little finger and your thumb was inside of the glove, and your half hand in a way, or inside of, just to give support for your hand and so on over many years.
Sounds like a Michael Jackson glove.
Yeah.
Accuracy, how you doing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, but yeah. Oh, I'm trying to fathom out if they're in arm's reach, but I don't think they are, because no, they are, but they're on the floor. Hold on. Hey, son of God, no, I didn't. Sorry. You can speak to Accuracy though. Accuracy's got a Fanatec wheel. I think his is working okay at the moment. Oh my God, I can't reach and I'm gonna crash. Ouch. Hold on, let me unplug my headset. See, I've got these nice fancy blue glove. Let's put it on, shall we? Hold on. Do this and driving will be like, ah! Get my hand in. That's a cycling glove. It's a tight bloody fit though, I tell you that. Like an extra large. See?
Yeah, but
it's padded as well. It's got.
Is it from China?
I don't know, probably. It needs to be worn, obviously, and broken in. I'll probably need to shove it in the wash just to soften it up. But it's got padding all along. A little bit of extra padding where you need it. And actually, for where you grip around a wheel, the padding actually works quite well. But, you know, we'll try them. Because for long sessions in Dirt Rally, they may come in handy because my hands do get a bit sore now and again. Whoops. No, Son of God was saying that he read somewhere that a few people reported that the wheels blew up or were doing weird things. I must admit, I've not seen any. I mean, I don't know whether I'm searching for the wrong thing. You know, I saw one comment in a forum about a guy whose wheel failed, but Fanatec were rushing out a complete replacement for him, and he had to return his. But, you know, you're going to get some failures. Well, they were ordered before the weather got better, Equalizer, so, you know. And since the weather's gotten warmer, I haven't worn them. They're more for when it's cool. As I said, it's way too warm to wear gloves at the moment because, yeah, my hands get roasting. He's whatevering me, that's terrible. Whatever, Trevor. Oh, I doubt it. Not unless the weather gets really bad. nice and cold, because right now, put those gloves on, my hands are like, whoa, toasty warm, not gonna wear them. I'd rather put up with the pain. You know, I did put in Fanatec DD and problems, but I didn't see anything where a wheel was, you know, blown up. Maybe I'm reading it wrong or something, I don't know. Do you know, I find it really weird, you know, even though you drive a real car and you wear shoes or trainers, whatever you wear daily, you get in your car, you drive. Come home though, I have tried to drive with my trainers that I wear in the car, and I find it really weird. I don't know what it is. I prefer taking them off and driving barefoot, even though the pedals here are probably stiffer than what I've got in my car. I don't know what it is. I just prefer driving with socks when I'm on the rig. I can't fathom it out, because if I went into the car to drive with socks, I'd be like, what? That feels just wrong. However, one thing I do know is if I get into heel and toe, yeah, I want to be wearing a shoe of some form, because yeah, that can really grab the side of your foot. The last time before the last update, I had done nearly all the achievements. I think I had about, this is off, I probably had got less than 10 achievements left to do. But if there's been I think the recent update may have added a few more, so I'll have to double check. But the ones I've got left are the bigger ones, things like 100% map, 100% garages, things like that. Son of God, the hardest part is, you know, accuracy can only give his view based on his previous wheels. And I believe his previous one was a 2.5 from Fanatec. So yes, it should be an improvement over that. What you want to know is, because you're running a direct drive system already, but you're running a more basic direct drive. What you really want to know is how that Fanatec wheel compares to your current direct drive. You know, is it gonna be an improvement? Is it a night and day difference? You know, because if it's only a fraction better, is it really worth you upgrading your wheel? Well, there we are, CSL Elite. Sorry. I knew it was a Fanatec wheel, I just couldn't remember what one I just thought it was. Well, this is it, you know, you've got the new SimiCube 2 out, and there's people out there who state, oh, the new SimiCube Q is going to be way better than the SimiCube 1, you know, it's going to give you this better, that better. When I break down the stats, you know, other than it's got slightly more power, you know, if I went for the SimiCube Sport, I think it is, the level 2, shall we say, it's got like another extra 5 Newton meters of torque on board. The encoder is virtually the same in terms of resolution. You know, other than little tweaks they may have done, I don't think it's going to be a night and day difference. But for all you know, your wheel may be giving you all the detail you can get out of that game. You know, the only thing you can do is, if there's someone nearby who has, say, Fanatec wheel or a Simucube wheel with more power is to, you know, ask them nicely and say, look, dude, do you mind if I pop round and try your wheel? Because I really want to know whether upgrading to a 20 Newton meter or a 30 Newton meter is really going to be worth my while. And remember, now that the new wheels are out, maybe even harder to sell your old gear. This is what I was saying before. For those people who are looking for a wheel, second-hand direct drive market is going to be really good. Because there's going to be some really good stuff out there. What is it that's attracting you about Fanatec? Forgetting about the feel right now. What is it you want from a wheel? That's the way I would look at it. Because ultimately, I don't think you're happy with your particular wheel. I wouldn't write Simucube off, because Simucube 2 would probably be the way forward if you wanted to go direct drive. I mean, either way, I would say you're looking at Fanatec or a Simucube 2 wheel. You know, if I was buying direct drive now, those would be my choices, Fanatec or Simucube 2. I probably wouldn't look at the older system. But because I've got this, is it really worth my while swapping to a Fanatec or Simucube 2? I don't think so. That's the thing, the Fanatec system, the ecosystem with Fanatec is very good. You've got a wide choice of rims, you've got some very good looking hardware, but at the end of the day, it's not all about looks. You know, if that's what you want and that's what you want to invest into, then go for it. See, it's like, I know you're talking about wireless, but we've got to remember that Fanatec relies on metal pins to transmit the signal through to the wheel. You know, I don't know if it's true wireless system where it's, you know, there's no wires or there's no pins between the wheel and the base. Because if they're still using pins, there's every chance that those pins over time could become damaged. It's the same with the USB cable. The USB cable on this wheel, I don't have a problem with. It's not like I get tangled up in the wheel with it. Once in a blue moon it may happen if it hits over the shifter on the wheel, but other than that, and that's very rare that happens these days. I'm not worried about wireless wheels or anything like that. I don't, you know, it's nice to have a choice, and if you can buy a wheel that's wireless that doesn't cost the earth, fair enough, go for it. Yeah, but that's just a display that tells you. I mean, I'm in a position where I'm lucky because I've got 4 screens. I can have my Simucube software up on the 4th screen and I can monitor what my wheel is doing in terms of power there as well and settings. But at the end of the day, I go by feel, you know, regardless of whether the wheel is showing me, oh, it's running. You know, you've got to think of it, it's a gimmick. You know, the wheel is telling you that it's putting out, what, 17 Newton meters, let's say, at that particular point. But that doesn't change the fact that if it's too strong, you've still got to go into the settings and tweak that. So whether you do that from the wheel, whether you do it from the software when it's released, that's up to you. Yeah, but again, you're looking at live talk. I think you're looking at things into too much detail. Yeah, it's a feature, and you can see the live talk, but that doesn't change how you drive. It's not like you go into a car and you go, oh, I'm doing 20 Newton meters on this wheel going around this corner. You know? You don't have a torque meter on a Ferrari. You may have a G meter, so you can see how many Gs you're pulling around the corner, but you know, again, it's more of an added feature that you don't really need to be able to drive. All you want is to make sure that the feedback you've got, and I think you're getting so wrapped up in, you know, this wheel has to be perfect. There is no perfect wheel. The Fanatec system won't be perfect. Simucube isn't going to be perfect. It's just whether that wheel meets your expectations. And that's just it, you know. If you've got the money to spend, then buy all 3 wheels and try them out yourself. And then send them back or sell the ones you don't want. But I think you need to seriously sit down and say to yourself, right, what do I want? Do I want to have... Right, we're turning by ear, guys. Sorry. Do I want to have the Fanatec ecosystem? Do you want to be able to access all the wheels they do, have plug-and-play functionality, and have a good level of driving detail through your wheel? Because at the end of the day, the Fanatec system will supply that for you. But if you're not worried about having multiple wheel choices and you just want to have a simple system where, you know, you plug it in, then really your choices are Fanatec or the SimiCube 2. You know, and you know, there's plus and minus. I've read that some people prefer the Fanatec, some people prefer SimiCube 2 or SimiCube in general. I don't think there's any right or wrong. You just got to decide what's right for you. I think that's all you can do. Maybe he'll give you some foresight into what you need. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Well, like with accuracy, you already were buying into the ecosystem. You already had a few wheels under your belt. You know, so it made sense to you to say, okay, so rather than having to sell up everything or convert my wheels to work with another system, I can just go ahead and buy a Fanatec system that's going to be the same as, or close to, or even better than what is out there already. I think ultimately it's easier for the majority of people will probably go with Fanatec because it's a one-stop shop and it'll do it all. Now, whether Fanatec turns out to be the best option for everything, and I mean, you know, the detail you get, the feel, the power, that remains to be seen. You know, we need the reviews to come out. We need the people who have tried multiple wheels, who have the experience of driving with long time direct drive, who then take on board the Fanatec, for them to turn around and say, you know, this compares close to other direct drive, but it's not as good, or it compares to or better than other direct drive systems that are currently out there, then I'm sure that would make your choice 10 times easier. And no doubt that will happen. We're just still waiting for those reviewers to get hold of the hardware. That's the hard part. In fact, it is surprising that Fanatec hasn't sent out review units, and if they have, I'm not aware of anybody who's got them. Sorry, turning. Yeah. My God, I've been rabbiting on and on and on. I mean, I'd love to be able to turn around and say, you know what, this wheel's going to be the best for you, buy this one, but, you know, it's a lot of money to spend. And you got to buy what's right for you. If I didn't have this wheel, I'd probably look at the Fanatec for sure, because the ecosystem is very attractive. I just do have my reservations because you do see issues with, you know, but I know there's people out there who never had a problem with Fanatec. There's other people who have had multiple items changed out, but then they've got a lot of items with Fanatec, so at some point something's going to go faulty. So was that off key I just heard in chat then?
It might have been.
It might have been sneaking in.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. I didn't realise you sneak in. I can't. That's the one thing I can't see is the Discord server, so I don't know if anybody else is in the chat. At least the good thing, by the way, accuracy. At least the good thing with Fanatec, they do seem to be pretty up on their servicing. There are some horror stories out there from some people, but I don't think any company is perfect with their servicing. You know, I'm sure people get cross wires when they're communicating their issues, and things may not go as smooth as what they plan. I like to give some companies the benefit of the doubt, but you know, unfortunately, my Thrustmaster experience tainted my my decision not to go with them in the future, because it was just like, nah, that's just terrible. So that's the wrong button. So what have we got? 93 miles, 2 hours 27 minutes, and 500 litres. I'm guessing everybody's good for fuel.
Yep.
Oh man, where are we? What's time? 22:50. Wow, is that it? That's me thinking it was later than that. I thought it was already like 11:15 or something.
It's late here now.
Well, for you, you know, you're on the other side of the planet. I mean, come on.
Oh, I am.
Nearly on the moon. Yeah, this is it, you know. And that's the one thing Fanatec have got, and have done well. They've got them into a position now where they're covering all types of wheels, all types of, you know, rims, whichever way you want to word it. So they've given themselves probably the best chance of being the first choice for most customers. God, this doesn't want to move on first gear. But I must admit, you know, I've been looking at wheels because I was trying to decide, right, do I want to go for a Fanatec McLaren GT3 wheel modified for this? But then I was shopping around and there's this aftermarket wheel for Simucube. I think it's called an FS1 wheel. Oh my god, that's a sexy piece of kit. Holy crap. It's like 500, 600 euros.
Holy shit.
But it's a really nice wheel.
Yeah, it better be.
Oh, it's, you know, it's pretty much all carbon fiber. There's loads of switches on it. There's gear shifter and clutch paddle on there as well as standard. It's all magnetic shifters and everything. So it's like a fully upgraded Fanatec wheel with magnetic shifters, you know. So if you buy the base wheel and then you add the magnetic shifters on it, you're looking at nearly another 190 quid. Yeah, that's the thing though. See, I would want the updated shifters, you know, like on the new wheel that you've got now. You can buy the Pro shifters or something, and they're quite expensive to add on, if I remember correctly. I'll tell you one thing that I did find really funny. Have you looked into the price of what they charge for the wheel mount? You know, the actual direct drive motor. They now make a mount for it. Have you seen the price of it? Damn thing better be made of gold. It's
My
really...
GPS said just straight ahead there, but I don't know.
No, we're going this way. I'm following my GPS. It's probably doing something really stupid. Hold on. I'm going to Cardiff. You're going to Swansea, aren't you? What was it? It's like I'm going to Cardiff, and you guys are going to Swansea. So you're following me first.
Fuck. Yeah, okay.
And then we'll go from Cardiff to Swansea. Yeah, it's like, what is it? Nearly 300 quid just for that mountain bracket. I was like, you're having a laugh, right? And the way the advertising it is, oh, it's designed to work with the 8020 rigs, it's designed to work with the Ren Sport rig or something. But basically, it's just a gold-coloured clamp. And I'm thinking, there's nothing fancy going on here other than you've, you know, tried to make it look nice.
Yeah, but why do you need...
But nearly 300 quid just for a wheel mount. I was like, they're having a laugh. There's no way I would be spending. I'd make my own.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that that's the only thing they can come up with. You're telling me they couldn't have produced something just as good, but for a lot cheaper? There are some things they do, and I think you just haven't thought about this at all, or you're just trying to grab every penny you can. You know, yes, they're a company; they're trying to make money, but I don't know what they were thinking there. That just seems weird. And they released something else with it as well. I can't remember what it was. It was a clamp and some other piece, both of which were laughable. I hope they really do reconsider their mounts. Or someone's going to come along, they're going to make an aftermarket mount, and they're going to be selling bucket loads of them. Oh my god, the thing just changed as I went through. Is it going to let him through? Oh.
Yeah, good.
I was like, that was pretty bad timing, because as I was just, I put the brake on ever so slightly, thinking I'm going to slow down a bit here, but as I got so close, then I was like, no, and then it changed. I was like, shit, I can't brake now because it's too late.
Yeah.
And I thought, Christ, I don't know if the train's just going to come through and it's just going to start closing straight after me. So 45 minutes. 26 miles, won't be long now. We're turning right up ahead. Ow! Kick the rig again. Ow! That's not good. So I take it Accuracy's not planning on buying the new clamp for his wheel, or is he? See, that would be a good one. There's a area down there which would be good to look at. It's one of the I don't know what you call them now. Jesus, my mind's gone blank. Hell no. You stick with your... That's the word, quarry. I couldn't think. Jesus, my mind went... I need more coffee, that's what it is. SimLabs are making one of there, and I bet you it's going to be probably half the price, if not more. It's like the OSW one. It's like a sheet of metal. I know the one that SimLabs do. Sheet of metal that mounts to the front of the wheelbase and then mounts to the 8020 rig. And it's like 20 quid or something. It's like, that's all you need. It holds it rigid. Even the one that I've got now, it's, you know, 2 bits of metal, one that fits around the wheelbase and another one then that gives you angle adjustments. And again, a couple of bolts, but again, if I wanted to buy that, we're talking 20-30 quid tops. You know, this business of charging nearly 300 quid just for a bracket, it's like, what are you thinking? Yeah, gold colour. If it was solid gold, fair enough. It doesn't even have a proper bolt pattern. It just clamps on though. It clamps to the rig on the outside. It doesn't bolt onto the rig like other ones will. So it won't even look clean. It will look kind of messy. You know, if I'm spending 300 quid, I want it to be held on properly, look nice and tidy, not clamp around a piece of metal or a pole. Especially on a rig like this. You know, for the other rig, which is, you know, it is just a bunch of poles anyway, then you're kind of stuck. This isn't going in, is it? Let's try this again, shall we? God, totally made an arse of this. And that hopefully will get me in. Yeah, no, but it clamps onto that rig, doesn't it? I'd still think it's just it's not a nice piece of kit for what they're charging. You know, spending 300 quid for something that just clamps on, it's just a giant clamp at the end of the day. Maybe they just need to get a better rig, I don't know. Right, we're in park. Sell it all. Let me just have a look if there's anything at the Swansea. I don't think there is. I might be lucky though. Oh, I do. Sheep's wool. Take job. Yeah, it's not a huge amount of detail. It is nice because the control is a lot smoother. Right then, who wants to take point? Someone else.
Yeah, I'll let Roy load.
There we are. Go on, Roy, you lead this time.
Yep.
Are you heading off? Yes, he is. Right, I'll make a move now. Once I got my blooming trucking gear, we'll catch him up.
Now I got a message again, Steam offline.
God, what is going on with Steam? You seem to get that a lot, though. Did you get issues connecting with Steam?
Yeah,
Twice now.
Well.
Oh.
It didn't flash up for me. I must be on my own.
Bottom right corner.
Nope.
Must be
But then the lot, mind you, I think mine was delayed. I can't remember if I had it the last time it happened.
Yeah, I got the same message last time, but you didn't get it.
I didn't, was it? I can't remember.
But did you remember, or do you remember what happened also the last time?
Nah, it's been more than 24 hours. I usually forget.
They updated the multiplayer, the Truckers MP. So
Alright.
And then we also lost the connection, so we had to start again.
Yeah. It is a bit of a pain.
Yeah. I think they are gonna do it sometime. Very soon, because of the open beta.
Oh, it can't be far off now. They've had the beta out for a while, so...
Yeah.
If it's still going past the end of this month, I'll be surprised, but...
Yeah, next week I think it will be officially released.
Yeah, we got that to look forward to. We got Dirt Rally has updated today, but they said in their update today that next week they're bringing out the force feedback fix. So that'll be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to see what they're going to bring to the table for Dirt Rally 2. So, accuracy, have you got Dirt Rally 2? Because if you have, keep your next week open, because there's a force feedback update supposedly coming out. I did post it into the Discord for servers or whatever pages for people to read. You haven't tried Dirt Rally? Okay, granted, Direct Drive isn't running at its best with that game. However, come on, you gotta get that game. It's an awesome game. I love rally games. Oh yeah, just haven't tried it on the wheel yet. Come on, gotta get a move on. You've had that wheel too long now. Should have tried every game going within the first 3 days. He's slacking. Well, you got no excuses now. You got Direct Drive, mate. You should be there. You should be top of the charts, winning every race. That's what people say, innit? Direct Drive makes me a better driver. If only.
People are saying that?
Nah.
Oh, just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, if somebody says, "Oh, you know, will Direct Drive make me better?" I'd be telling them, "Nah, you're only as good as you are." You know. It may help you feel a little bit more, and you may be able to react a little bit quicker. So your times may improve slightly, but don't expect you to be, you know, going from last to first just because of the wheel. How did you get on with iRacing then?
Yeah, I was watching him do a bit of that earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, accuracy's well into the iRacing. He's progressed way further than I have. I'm still at the very beginning, but I've only bought the very basic pack. I still need to get back into it. I keep saying it, but I still don't do it. It's just finding the time. Right, he's over that side, I'm over this side. Signal offense, and I think I'm down here. Where are we? Yes.
Yeah, I'm quitting now, so.
Okay, then. Thanks for joining. We'll see you in the next one, hopefully.
Yeah,
Right, take care then.
it was fun. So, take care.
Ta-da then.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, let's try and back this thing in, shall we? There we go. Yay! Right, in. Oh, that was the wrong button. Try that one. Oh, should we do another one? Or maybe not. You got time to do another one, Offkey?
Yeah, I don't know one, mate. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Swansea 2. Don't want to do anything. Oh my god, look at the side of that one. 50 hours. Oh my god. I'm not going to be doing 50 hours, right? Let's go job market. Cargo. Click on Swansea. What have we got here? Oh, Swansea to Grimsby. Back to the beginning again. Don't think so. Sheffield, La Rochelle, Le Mans, Montpellier. That's quite the trip. Not exactly short, are they? Birmingham? Oh, that's short. That's too short. Calais, Plymouth, Southampton. They're all going to get shorter now. There's nothing in between. Ugh, annoying. Liverpool, Manchester. They're just going to get shorter. Southampton. Sheffield. You jump from basically what is a 5-6 hour trip up to what works out to be like 12 to 17 hour trip. Could try that. Head into France. Have we got anything Le Mans?
I've got a few Calais and Paris ones.
Nothing going to Le Mans though, no?
No, I've had to go on external because I've got no jobs on freight.
None at all. What have you, were you on your own trailer before, or?
No.
Ah, right.
No, right, you don't try them.
Yeah, you don't have a trailer, do you?
No.
Right. I can have a look at these still. I don't have to use my trailers. Let's see. Click on there. What have they got? Not one of these stupid mileage. Calais. You said Paris, yeah?
Yeah, I've got Paris and Calais that way.
Do the Paris one then. I've got that. So put that in. We'll grab the jobs now. Want to dismiss your current trailer and take this job? Yes, I do. Wow. Right, where are we going? Around the corner, I think.
I'm heading 2 miles into Europe.
Oh, you were right on the outside then, are you?
Yeah, I had to do a right before we got into.
Gotcha. Well, I'm heading to my pickup point now, so whoa, don't go too fast, crap. So we can go down here. Where is it? Around here? Right in the middle. Right, we are coupled in. Let me know when you're ready. Park it up and wait. Did I finish my coffee? No, I still got cold coffee left. Blimey. So we've got 433 miles to go. I've got 400 litres on board. Have you got plenty of fuel? Yeah, it's always a good idea.
Because I'm sat next to the telly.
Ah, that's alright. I must admit, when you're talking I can't hear it, so...
Whatever film she's watching is just finished.
Alright.
Yeah, tight.
So, I think when we get, well, next petrol station we'll stop and top up. Wherever that turns out to be, because right now I can't see one on the map.
About 2/3 of the tank.
Yeah, well I'm down to just got half, so... Probably got enough to get there actually, so as long as you've got 400 plus, you'd probably get there. I've got just under 400, but usually with your usage you'll end up probably with about 60 to 100 litres remaining. Oh, I tell you what, I've really got to move the seat back. My legs just need to stretch and I can't. I wish I never moved this seat forward now, because now it's stuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they're bolted on there.
Well, this one does move forward and back, but because the way I was looking at it, I thought, right, the son's getting older, you'll be able to reach the pedals if I move the seat forward. And I can turn the force feedback down on the wheel, so it'll be safe for him to use.
Yeah.
But obviously I've rigged it so it's at the furthest point back. I can get in fine, but because now I've changed the wheel setup, yet again because I've bought a new, slightly longer adapter, I need to move the wheel further away from me, and if I'm doing short driving sessions, sitting down and driving is fine for my legs, but like now when I'm doing longer sessions, you know, maybe 2-3 hours long, I'm a bit too close. I need to be able to extend my leg a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's pain. And if I was sitting down for an hour it'll probably be fine, but for like 3 hours it's like, yeah, okay, I need to be able to, because it's not fully extended, it's always in the wrong position. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's just got to be changed. It's just not comfortable. Nothing worse than having a bad driving position, because you lose focus on what you're doing, then you're too busy shuffling around in your seat trying to get comfortable again.
Yeah, that's it.
So when are you going to pick up this wheel then? I thought you were picking up a wheel.
Yeah, I just borrowed our I've got a sticker. G920.
Alright.
It's crap.
That's not bad. I used to have a G29, it was the same wheel.
Yeah, I think I'd rather use controller.
But what did you have before? You had the Thrustmaster, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, I had an old Xbox 360 Ferrari looking wheel.
I don't know all the different types, but what's wrong with the? You've actually tried the Logitech then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm on Logitech now.
I used.
It's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird feeling, to be honest with you.
Probably because the wheel is smaller.
I don't know, it feels similar size.
Is it?
It's not. It's not that, yeah, it's just the gearing inside. I don't know, it feels weird. I don't know whether it's because I've not used force feedback for like sort of about 10 years, I think.
Well, you've got to get accustomed to it.
Yeah, I don't know, just sometimes it just feels like the gearing inside is slipping.
Is it a new wheel?
Yeah, it feels it. Right, it's brake pedal. Couldn't even move the brake pedal.
I don't know if there's a test. Is there any test programs you can put on to test the gearing?
Oh, I don't know.
And you haven't got the force feedback whacked up to max or anything?
No.
I don't know if you put the force feedback up too much, that can cause issues. I don't know. I've never actually used that particular one. I've had the G29 in the past. You know, for the price you pay for it, it's a good wheel.
Yeah.
But I think if I was going to recommend wheels now, you know, if you're happy splashing the cash, then go for the basic Fanatec. But you know, it's a lot of money to be spending as well, so you've got to be willing to splash out. But yeah, it should be fine. I mean, it's supposed to be the same system as a G29, and I used mine for I don't know how long, and I had a G27 I think before that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Well, a G27 is just basically a rebadged G29, because it's the same, as far as I'm aware, it's the same hardware internally. They may have updated how it reads off the motors and stuff, but other than that, essentially it's a G27. I think they made slight improvements to the gearing.
I think it was the G27 wheel that I wanted, the 25 shifter, and the G29 920 pedals. Is the kit I wanted.
Yeah.
Because the G25 shifter, it has a sequential,
The buttons.
Sequential select.
Yeah.
Plus you got a D-pad and 4 extra buttons on the shifter. Whereas the 27 shifter didn't have it.
No, you just had 3 buttons each side, so giving you 6 in total, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
G27 wheel I wanted because it had the buttons on, whereas the 25 wheel didn't.
See, I went with the G29 because it had the lights. Ooh, lights! I'll have that one, please. That, and it was PS4 compatible, so... Because I had the G27, which was PS3 compatible. They didn't make it PS4 compatible, so I was like, well, crap. So I ended up selling that as the PS4 came out. And then I was like, right, okay, I'll pick up a G29. So I bought that, used it with the PS4 more than anything, because I used to play on the PS4 when it came to driving games. But then as my PC became better, I moved over to PC for driving. So then, lucky enough, you could unplug that, put it into your PC, use it there, great, I could use it to start off. And then when I really got into it, that's when I thought, nope, time to upgrade and look at different options.
See, I was originally looking at the Thrustmaster TMX, but all the ones I saw were with the 2 pedal setup rather than 3.
Yeah, I think you can now. There's like, you can get a TMX Pro in there, which can get 3. But I think you've got to look around because a lot of places have the more basic version. Oh god, I got the wrong gear again. Jesus. Terrible. There we go.
Left.
Oh, straight on for me.
Oh, on the left line, left side.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not listening. Ignore me, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm back. See, I've already think I've crossed the border.
Yeah, I'm just about 80 years old.
That's the problem, see. You driving, unless you're driving in UK all day long, which technically I do, but in this game, I'm the majority of the time I'm abroad, so you're always in the right-hand lane. So whenever I play this game, it's just automatic for me to go into the other lane. It's like I don't do that in real life because I'd be dead by now. Or a head-on collision, I don't know how many times.
So, you get like backtracking a bit to what you were saying earlier about not being able to drive the rig with your trainers.
It's not being. I just find it weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Whether it's because it's the pedals are like the pedals in the car, they hang down, don't they?
Yeah, they're big,
Yeah. Whereas these ones, and I used to have inverted pedals before, but it was only the throttle wasn't inverted, but the other two were. And even then, it didn't feel the same. But these ones now, they're on the floor, sticking up. So whether it's that, whether it's because there's more feel with these pedals, because if I come out, if I was to jump from this rig into my car, you know, it's only a basic car, it's not a sports car at the end of the day, you know, if I was jumping into an older car, yes, the pedals, the clutch and everything would probably be really heavy, but because it's a relatively new car, the accelerator, the brakes, everything is pretty much light in comparison to this, because even these probably feel heavier than what's in the car. So whether it's because there's more feel through the pedals and I just don't need it, or I don't know, it's just weird. I've tried a number of times. I thought, right, I'm going to sit down now, I'm going to wear my trainers, whatever I normally wear in the car to drive. And I sat down, I put my feet on the pedals and I play for a bit, and it just doesn't feel the same. I take the socks off and yeah, it's more comfortable. Maybe it is that. Maybe it's because I feel that I'm feeling more through my feet when I'm on the rig. Because it's weird, you know, if I was to jump into the car, I wouldn't do the opposite. I wouldn't be whipping my shoes off and be driving around in my socks, because that would, to me, just be completely alien. I'd be like, nah, sorry, can't do this. Because, you know, I've done that before, you know, you need to move the car on the driveway or something, you don't bother putting your shoes on, you go out and you try and move the car with your bare feet or something, and you're like, oh my god, this just feels terrible. And it's like, oh, well, I can't be doing that. And, you know, yeah.
Off and then jump in a car and then drive about.
I was just gonna say exactly the same as how women drive with heels or whatever. They just like the mind boggles. Thanks. You can leave that to them. Thank you very much. That will be able to get in and stand on them.
They like all that complicated stuff.
Beyond me. Yeah, but then, you know, you see the guys, you know, the guys who take their racing more seriously on YouTube, and they got their racing shoes on and what have you. But I think that's because they may be doing things like, you know, heel toe. Because I've attempted, you know, I don't claim to be very good at heel toe. I can do it, but it's not perfect by any means. But if I do it too much, my foot does start to hurt, because you're having to twist your foot on the pedal, and if I don't hit the pedal correctly, you know, I could be catching the side of my foot, and because they are really, you know, firm pedals, they're all metal, sooner or later you're going to end up digging the wrong part of your foot into the metal, and next thing you know, you're just causing yourself a little bit of pain. So I can see why shoes are beneficial in that respect, but because it's not something I do very often, I've been trying to push myself to learn heel toe, and I know the basics of it. It's just being confident in hitting the brake with the right amount of pressure and hitting the accelerator at the same time, and getting it all timed correctly.
Right, just give me a quick score on a change down, let's kick the engine back.
Yeah. But it's easier said than done. You know, it's not. You can't just. You know, the basic of it is you can mash the pedals together, but you've still got to get the braking right for the corner. Because if you're too heavy on the pedal, then you can still cause the car to spin out. Or if you're too light, you're not slowing the car down enough, and you know you're going to be scrubbing speed off going wide. So you still got to balance it right. It's different. Whereas if you do left foot braking, I found when I first started left foot braking, you're always applying too much pressure, because you just weren't used to the muscle memory, because you don't use your left foot normally for braking. But after, say, a week of doing that, you build up muscle memory and you find yourself hitting the pedal right first time, being able to apply the right amount of pressure. So now I can trail brake, left foot brake fine, do it all the time in dirt rally. I'm comfortable with it, and I can get the amount of pressure that I need from it. But when I try doing heel toe, I can do it, but I'm finding myself not always getting the right amount of pressure on the brake. So it's still learning. It's not something that I've been keeping on top of, and I should be, but because I'm swapping in and out of games, I should force myself to do it in every game I do, and every upshift and downshift, just to practice.
Yeah, I know you think that one.
But it just gets tiresome after a while. It's like, yeah, I can't be bothered.
Middle lane managed to veer over to the right.
You what? You veered over to the right and what?
Yeah, just hit that concrete.
God.
I thought it needed a bit of paint.
Yeah, I thought you'd add a bit to the look of the truck, yeah?
Yeah.
I want to grunge it up with a couple of scrapes. Going for the, what they call it, rat look or something? Or rusted and God knows what.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hold on a minute, have I been driving past fuel stations again? I have. Still, well, 253 litres and I've got 245 miles, so technically I've got enough. What about you?
Yeah, that's 1,200 miles.
You still got over... as long as you've got over 250 litres, you should be fine.
Can't see on me.
I'll be pushing over the line now, going, go on! The way I look at it is, if you've got like 230 miles, as long as you've got 230 litres, you'll have plenty to do it. Because it was 250 miles and I had 400 litres. But because
it says I've got about 600 litres, 641 litres.
Ah, you're fine then. You got way more than you need. And at this speed, we're not eating through the fuel, so we should be... I should have at least 100 spare, I would have thought. We've just got 4 hours. We haven't even crossed the border yet, have we? We're still in the UK, aren't we? There's Dover now. So we've got a little ferry, go over across to Paris. So really, with the ferry, then we're probably looking at maybe 3 hours to Paris then. I would have thought, because Dover's just round down the road now, that's going to be like a half an hour to an hour. And it's only going to be a short ferry hop across. So maybe 2 hours, I don't know. We shall see, I'm trying to guess. With the ferry ride as well, that'll save us more fuel, so I've definitely got enough.
Yes, it's quite a bit.
Wonder where Hamster's been hiding these days.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't on. I haven't been on Discord or YouTube since. I haven't been on it since last Thursday, Friday. But I was on Discord yesterday. I think uploaded a few pictures or whatever. I think it's about 2 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning?
I see it sent me a little note, so I just left him a reply back. Well, I've got to jump in Discord and have a catch up with him mind. Spoke to you Friday.
This is it, isn't it? It's everybody's got their own time. Got to catch up as and when, isn't it?
Yes.
I can see a mark on my screen. Get off. Bugs me. How far out are we? Where are we? Where are we? Map. Oh, there we are. It's around the corner. I thought this trip seems to be taking ages just to get to Dover.
So it does, doesn't it? This is 56 mile an hour.
Yeah, I'm pretty much maxed out. When you do ETS or ATS, do you stick to speed limiter, or do you just do free for all and do whatever you want?
Yeah, lately, past few months, since I've got to control it really, I've been doing it all a bit properly. I only use indicators and all that in multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't bother with them otherwise. But yeah, I do like to. Because I've got the other one.
Well, it's nice to try and keep it. I mean, there are times that, there were times when I used to just do speed runs, and I think that's because I just wanted to get from A to B quickly, especially when I was doing, more of the map progress.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of times when I would be, okay, then I'm gonna go from A to B here now quickly, because I just wanted to cover the ground quickly. I still can't believe I'm still stuck on like 86% on that damn map. It's doing my head in. It's gonna take forever. I don't know how. There are people out there who have already done 100%. I don't know how they must just have no life and just be playing ETS all the time. It's like, how have you done that?
Yeah, people say that to me. How have you not completed the map yet on ATS? I'm like, well, I never really thought about it until I see you doing it.
Well,
Yeah, and then I was like, there's an actual achievement for that.
yep, there's achievements there. That's why I've been trying to do it in ETS, but when you think about it, each time they bring out a new map, then it's like, crap, I've got another 10% or 20% to do.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so you got Washington's going to be brought out. That'll be. However, I think for the achievements are based on
Hold on
the game.
Hold on, just come past the fuel station.
Yeah, we don't need fuel though, unless you do.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
So Dover's coming up. So yeah, I think with the achievements, you've got to look at where the achievement was released. So if the achievement was released on the base game, I think you only need to cover the base game part of the map.
Right.
Whereas if it's released under, say, like ETS, like France or something, then you would have to make sure you're covering the France region, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because I think where it says things like 100% map, I think that's for the base game. But that's something I haven't been able to really find out. I'm stuck because I've installed it. And things like 100% garages, I think that's, again, base game part of it only. Because I think somewhere there's a list of garages that you can look at and check off your list, so to speak. Yeah, I think people have posted it. Somebody mentioned it to me, but I've never found it. But if I do find it, I'll put it into Discord. Because at least then you've got a list of the garages and you can check off which ones you've got. And if there's like only like 3 or 4 certain ones, you'd be like, right, shit, I'm going to just drive straight to those.
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, I think I've got them all on one of the ATS profiles. I don't know whether it's in the update or something they're going to be adding later on. There's 2 new garages coming to ATS.
Yeah.
So I should try and grab them.
Yeah, and whenever they bring out a new map, so like when Washington comes out for ATS, they'll bring out achievements for Washington to be done, so that'll add more to be done. like now when ETS they're bringing out the new Sardinia, I've got a feeling that when they bring out Sardinia there'll be achievements for that as well. So 2 hours 38. That was about right. Burning down here. Paris. Oh, and then I got another day of work tomorrow. Oh, the joys. So where are we? We've got...
I don't know, you went right, but my map was telling me to go left.
Yeah, go left. Yes, I think my either I messed up or I'd read the map wrong. I'm gonna have to turn around because I just looked at my thing and it went up to 3 hours. I was like, that's not right because it said 2.5. So clearly I've done something wrong.
Yeah, I've gone up to 350.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna try and work out whether we can turn by here. That's an exit there.
I'm stuck up in this.
Boop, 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 boop. I'm wondering, you should be able to turn by here. But I don't want to turn you if you can't. Yeah, you should be able to. Well, I'm going to give it a go. The map hasn't picked it up though. I'm trying it now. I'm making sure I'm trying to pick up the right one. Shouldn't. Oh, it's not going to put me back on there, is it? It's going to be really annoying.
I'll tell you what, it's absolutely dead on me, isn't it?
It's been dead most times, to be honest, for me.
On the server?
Yeah. I think it's just this particular server. Most people jump onto 2. Yeah, it's put me back on, so follow. If you turn off that junction, you don't have to go all the way down now. So that brings it back down to 2 hours 50. I was probably too busy yapping and took the wrong one. Because I've gone through those before. Go on.
It's only for the fact I got stuck on the corner. Just look down at the map. I've gone that way.
So that junction that I just went there, see, I've gone around those ones before, and sometimes you don't get the turning to come back on, which means then you're stuck going in another loop, and you end up in even worse world of hurt. But luckily enough, that one did work out fine. So.
Oh, there you go. You just pop back on.
So we're back down to 2:30. So I'll just. Trundle along at 40 odd. It should give you plenty of time to catch up then.
You'll be on, mate.
Yeah, you're motoring down, you're on 500 now, so you were on 7. There we are, nearly there now. There you go. Finally there.
Look at that truck looks smart.
The what?
Your truck does look smart.
Just gotta...
I I do like a coordinated truck and trailer and wheels, etc. You know?
Yeah, that's what I the one that got me. Roy came in with his truck and he had it all silver. And I was like, well, you're showing me up, I said, because I've got this cruddy truck. Well, my truck was okay, but the trailer was terrible. So I thought, right, I'm going to change my truck and trailer, and I'm going to get everything matching. So I sat there and went through and made sure it was all looking okay. Because, yeah, when you decide to do exterior shots, then it's like, oh, well, that looks nice. Rather than this mishmash all the time.
It's like an old school type of truck, isn't it? Punch your beat. What truck you in? I haven't even noticed.
Volvo.
Are you in a Volvo? Or the
Yeah.
FH?
The Globetrotter 750 or something? I don't know. I didn't even know the truck numbers, I just know it's a Volvo.
Yeah, that's the same one as I was going to use. But I haven't. This Scania. Is it a Scania?
I don't know, you're driving it.
Yeah, sorry. The Scania. I said I looked down at the steering wheel. Scania thing I'm driving. It's the first time I've been out in it. So,
Really? Scania's mainly the main truck I use. Volvo was the first truck I used. The reason why is when I started playing the game, they had one of the cheapest trucks to buy.
yeah.
So they were cheap. You can get in. That was a tidy truck to use. And I must admit, I have used all the trucks in the game now, but it was probably a good 6 months before I even tried the other trucks. But as soon as I could afford a Scania, I was into Scania straight away. But
Everyone's go-to truck.
yeah, and that's what I thought. I thought it'd be nice, because I'm always in a Scania when my single profile is always the T series. But I thought, right, let's have a change. Let's just change truck. I thought, well, I haven't been in a Volvo for ages. Let's go back to the original Volvo that I used to be in, and then we'll do it right the way up, and we'll get a nice trailer for it. So I did. Makes a change from having Scania, because otherwise I was doing single player Scania and multiplayer Scania, and I thought, well, that seems a bit stupid. So with
Scania T. Do you like that Scania T?
yeah,
I've had the mod for ages, but never had, because I don't play ETS, I never had the money in ETS to do anything with it.
yeah,
So,
it's a nice truck, the T.
very nice, very nice. Very quiet.
Well, that's where you got to get the open pipe mod.
Yeah, I've got some sound mod, V8 mod thing everyone told me about. The workshop.
Got to make sure it's the right one, and sometimes with some trucks you've got to make sure you've installed the right engine for it to activate properly. So you've got to have the right engine installed and everything, so make sure it's the V8 and it's got to be the right power or something. I can't remember what it is for that one. I'd have to load up my profile and double check. But I know with some, the sound mod doesn't activate until you put in the relevant engine as well, because it may not apply to all engines for that truck.
Do you know what? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so just because you got the truck doesn't mean you've got the V8 slung in it. You may have like a 500 brake horsepower rather than a 6 or 700 brake horsepower.
Yeah. See, in HS I've got the engine and sound mod in that as well. But it's just pretty much for all the trucks.
I've barely modded my ATS. I need to get into modding that more.
Oh no, it's so disappointing. I believe you haven't modded ATS.
Got a couple which gives you supposedly high resolution road textures and scenery.
Yeah, has that got like a bridge picture on it or something? Like a truck going over a bridge or something?
Oh, I don't know. They're all made by the same person though.
Yeah, it's supposed to give you like a 4K resolution.
Oh, I don't know about 4K. I didn't. It hasn't been updated for ages because I play mine so little. I just haven't really double checked it. I know there was a brake mod sound to give you better air brake sounds or something, and that's about all I've got. There's not much else on it, to be honest. But I need to get in an engine sound because I must admit I am a bit tired of the engine sounds on and the horns. Got to get the horns changed. You think this game's been developed for so long, you'd think the base game would have a decent sounding horn. I mean, yeah, at least the one I've got on this truck is okay, but oh god, they're terrible.
I'll tell you what I don't like, is this little map, hub map thing.
What, in the corner?
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
Time you get a bit of damage or you do something, it flashes up what's the matter, like trailer damage, 1% or something.
yeah.
The amount of turns I've missed because of that.
Because it stays. Yeah, this is where if you get the sat nav fitted, that doesn't happen because you can see it on the sat nav.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, does it? I can't remember if because if you with my screens, because my screens are more narrow and wider, you can't see the sat nav that's fitted inside the truck because it's lower down. But I'm sure the sat nav that's fitted to the truck would show you. But again, if your screen doesn't show it, because I can't remember, I'm sure that one doesn't change. Yeah, so now see.
It does show it, but
Yeah.
the hub map is over it.
Alright, yeah. I don't know if you can change position, can you? I don't think so.
No, I don't think you can.
You can always get the HUD mod, which puts it into the middle.
ATS. Yeah, I've got it in ATS.
Because at least then you can hide it and just have your sat nav showing. And if anything does flash up, it should flash up in the middle. Well, that destination came up quicker than expected.
Oh yeah, that was quick. When I just turned around the corner, I looked at my map.
Where is the parking? Around the back for me, I think. Or am I in the wrong spot? What's there? I was like, right, it's not around the back, it's around the side.
Oh.
You don't crash into a wall again.
No, I was just having a look in the garage, see what's about. Oh, no, right, close.
Beep, beep, beep. Right, let's drop that one off.
That's excellent.
Oh, you got a detacher for that's not my trailer, is it? And we are ending there. There we are, because it's coming up to 10 to midnight. I'm gonna have to make a move anyway, because I'm gonna need to get myself up in the morning. So thanks for joining us.
You talking to me or the stream?
Talking to you.
Oh, right, sorry.
No one else. No, not yet. It's the one. People are now listening to us going back and forth, going, "What are these two Muppets on about?" Right, and so I'll see you in. Well, I'll probably see you tomorrow if you're around. Yeah, and everybody else will be back at some point tomorrow. So take care, and we'll catch you later. So thanks for joining us, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
And I can't get my screen to finish because it's not loading up. There it goes. So take care, everybody. If you enjoyed the stream, leave a like, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.